Hello, everyone. I hope some of the sunniness of this day is finding its way into your heart and soul and whole being. The bicyclists going past our place and the tree branches swaying in the breeze are really beckoning me to step outside again soon. For those of you who were able to be part of our worship together this past Sunday, a question for you today is, how is Taproot life going for you this week?
Are you finding ways to send your roots down deep to connect with the source and energy and the source of energy and life and purpose? Are you getting a sense of the ways that God is speaking to you this week? That is our hope for you.
And our lives continue to feel the impact of multiple crises in the world. In the coronavirus sphere, we are now dealing with the stress of the ambiguity of somewhat lessened restrictions, of needing to discover and live from each of us our own level of comfort and chosen risk, and realizing that we do not all make the same choices.
And our nation has felt the impact and been responding to the murders of George Floyd and others. And many of us are feeling a deep need to reflect on the role of race in our society and begin to understand our own responsibility and participation in racism. And we are aware that we will not all have the same understandings or feel pulled in the same way.
But the fundamental call or invitation remains for all of us to reach toward the God who speaks, which means that part of sending our roots down deep involves listening.
Listening to God, listening to our own selves, listening to each other, listening to the cries of those who are suffering and have been suffering for too long.
In a webinar I attended this week, David Augsburger, Mennonite minister and seminary professor, made the comment that love and listening are almost indistinguishable from each other. That when we are listened to, we feel loved, and when we listen to another, we extend love. So today, once again, we want to remind you that as you reach for the sustenance and nurture God means for all of us to have, listen to your own body, your own being, which is almost certainly sending you signals about what you need.
And in this time of fewer restrictions and greater freedoms, let us continue to listen to each other for the feelings that some have of renewed desire to connect with one another in person, for the feelings some have of fear and caution about that. And let's keep listening for the underlying love that we have for each other, which seeks to honor and support each other wherever we are.
As our heightened national awareness of racism and injustice continues, let's remember too that Jesus stands always with the vulnerable and calls us to do so too. So let our listening turn toward those whose Black and brown skin has meant levels of danger and disadvantage that those of us with white skin have not had to face.
As we seek to listen deeply, we are sure to hear the voice of God's Spirit, calling us to participate in healing and hope for the world, for our community, for ourselves personally.
Last evening, about 35 households from Salford participated in a Zoom session to begin talking together about what we are feeling called toward as possible steps to take in following Jesus on the path toward justice and peace that truly is for all people. As pastors, we felt energy and hope and a deep sense of gratitude for the spirit stirrings that are happening among us.
So much is broken and not well in our world. We reach toward God and we wait for God to make things right.
But while we wait, we are called to practice kindness and justice. We are called to build. I'm remembering the Hosea words, hold fast to love and justice.
Let's have the courage to be God's arms of love wherever we are, however we can be.
May the God who is always and forever with us and for us fill us with hope and show us how to be love in the middle of this aching world. We are not alone, dear friends. Rest and step out in that certainty. Take care.